Hello and welcome. My name is Sarah Davis and I work as an Area Senko for Solihull Early Years team. This presentation is all about helping you understand how we support children with special educational needs and disabilities, SEND, here in Solihull. We'll be focusing on something called the graduated approach, which is a step-by-step method used in early years settings to identify and support children who may need some extra help. Today we'll walk through what the graduated approach is, how settings can identify and assess SEND, and how they can work with other professionals to make sure every child gets the support that they need. The SEND Code of Practice is a legal document that guides how we support children with SEND. Chapter 5 specifically talks about early years settings and their responsibility to identify and support children with additional needs as early as possible. All settings should use a model known as the graduated approach. The graduated approach is a cycle of support that builds over time. It helps professionals to respond to a child's needs in a structured way. There are 4 key steps: assess, plan, do and review. This cycle helps professionals to make sure they're always adapting and improving the support that they offer. The 4 stages of the graduated approach are shown below. They are assess, plan, do and review. Let's take a closer look at each of these 4 stages. Settings and other professionals start by identifying children who may not be making the progress that we'd expect for their age. This might be through their child's universal progress checks at age 2 and 5 years old, or through more detailed assessments using tools like the Solihull Early Years SEND Assessment Toolkit. The assess part of the graduated approach is about identifying where a child is in their development and understanding the child's unique needs. Once settings have identified a need, they must plan how to support the child. This includes making reasonable adjustments and creating a SEND support plan with clear targets and details of the extra support that they will provide. The support plan is usually written by the SENCO in the setting, or if a child is being supported in the home by the early years team, then it is written by the inclusion support practitioner or ISP. Parents are a vital part of this process so that everyone works together to support the child both at home and in the setting. Next, the setting must ensure that all staff are aware of the child's needs, the SEND plan, and how to actively support the child. Everyone in the setting is responsible for putting the plan into action. If staff need extra training or advice, they can reach out to their area SENCO. A setting cannot say that they are unable to put support in place or to meet a child's need because they do not have the staff or the training. This would be breaking the law. A child's progress should be regularly reviewed, at least 3 times a year and more often for younger children in the early years. Settings should look at the child's progress towards their targets, what's working and what needs to change. If a child has not made progress, settings and parents need to consider whether they need to involve other professionals at this point. The graduated approach states that a setting needs to start by following the assess, plan, do, review cycle. If their interventions have not helped the child to make progress, and a child isn't making enough progress, they should seek further support from other professionals like speech and language therapists, occupational therapists, or from the early years team. These referrals are usually made by the setting SENCO, except for some medical referrals which would need to go through a GP or sometimes a health visitor, i.e. physiotherapy or paediatricians. Finally, settings must make sure that any advice from professionals is put into practice. This might include new strategies. Any strategies suggested by professionals should be added into the child's SENS support plan. It is the setting SENCO's job to keep parents informed every step of the way. This includes sharing all advice and reports from professionals and any new SENS support plans. If needed, a setting can apply for additional funding to support a child's needs, but only after they've shown that they have followed the graduated approach.